laid down insofar as pregnancy is concerned. You are able to ensure that you do not expose yourselves unnecessarily to any toxins that would hamper the growth of the baby or hamper the outcome of pregnancy. One example is, sasabihin, bakit ganon? Sa isang magkapatid or twins, yung isa nag-develop ng hypertension, yung isa wala. Okay? So definitely, there is a definite role insofar as nutrition is concerned, insofar as pregnancy is concerned, and it has lifelong complications. For the mother, ensuring that you have adequate nutrition also safeguards you against preeclampsia, safeguards you against problems of premature birth, and all of these learning disabilities would also be averted insofar as ensuring that you have proper nutrition in the first 1,000 days. So, let me just run you through on this particular slide, because I consider this very close to my heart as an obstetrician. Why? Let's focus our attention on the poor school performance and also in terms of the adolescent pregnancy, just to showcase the impact of malnutrition insofar as pregnancies are concerned. If you have a particular mother, okay, or let's say this particular teen, okay, who gets to be married or gets to be pregnant very early, you now have another social and clinical problem. And this is what we refer to as adolescent pregnancy. If you have an adolescent pregnancy, you do not expect this mother, who is just turning to be an adult, to take care of the children. That's very difficult. Bata pa nga lang siya, hindi pa siya adult. Okay? Mag-aalaga na siya ng bata. So what happens in this particular adolescent mother? She drops out of school. When she drops out of school, what do you expect of the children to be? So this time, it becomes an intergenerational problem already. Problems in productivity, and eventually would become a problem of the society. That is why it is important that if we start good, we start in terms of ensuring good nutrition to our patients during pregnancy itself, we are able to avert some of these factors, some of these events. That is why even the maternal mortality, which the Philippines was not able to achieve, we would also be able to avert. Why? Because mothers with good nutrition would be able to fight off some of the diseases that are important, that are having an impact insofar as maternal mortality is concerned. So in so doing, this one is very important for us. We need really to have an investment insofar as nutrition is concerned. And this particular slide is also, I'm sure, close to you. Kanina siguro nagsasalita ko, ano naman ang role ng genetics? Ano naman ang role ng epigenetics? We would like to see it as a tango, a ballet, a dance between genetics and epigenetics. We cannot separate them anymore. They are closely related to each other simply because this time, genetics does not act alone. The environment which is important to that particular individual would have effects insofar as genetics are concerned. Okay? So, importante po na makita natin ito because this interplay is the one that is important when an individual grows. So, we would like now to showcase that improvement of the race, improvement per generation, does not only come from the individual itself. It is really an interplay between genetics and epigenetics that will also explain the difference culturally in the different countries that we are. So, we would like now to showcase that in the various periods of pregnancy, these are the factors that are very important insofar as interventions are concerned. It is important for a pregnant patient to get micronutrients. It is important for the pregnant patient to get a balanced meal. It is also important for the pregnant patient to ensure that the pregnancy is going well. And how do we assure that? We assure that by having good nutrition during this critical period, not only during the first 3 months of pregnancy, but all throughout her pregnancy, even beyond the delivery of the baby. So, I have provided an adequate background insofar as the first 1,000 days is concerned, showcase the importance of nutrition during the pregnancy. But we should not stop there. From the role of the obstetrician, I will now transfer to our pediatrician, Dr. T.P. Tanchanko, to elucidate and illustrate some more how we are able to play our role. Dr. T.P.
Thank you, Dr. Catalina. Good morning po. Morning. Yan. Ako po si Dr. TP, developmental pediatrician po ako. Okay, so because I'm a developmental pediatrician, let's talk a little about development. Okay, so basics. Usually po in medicine, usually discussed is during actually first year of med. We have some discussion about this, no? But we need a normal brain for development to proceed normally. So yung mga bata po na hindi normal yung brain nila pag pinanganak sila, then expectedly hindi po maganda yung development nila, no? Now, brain architecture is built from conception. Kaya po important yung sinasabi ni Dr. Padulina kanina, di ba? Na parang even before conception, we need to prepare ourselves as mothers. Lahat po ba tayo dito, mga mommies at daddies? Parents po ba? Sino ang mga magulang na dito? Okay, sino ang nagbabalak maging parent in the near future? Ayun, yes. Okay, ma'am. Very good. So, maganda para sa inyo po to, dedicated po tong lecture na to for you. No? So, you will see there are actually stages of development that we need to monitor and be aware of. Okay? So, the brain, which is a really good organ of our body, is something that we need to take care of. You will see rapid proliferation, synaptic connections, even when after the baby is conceived. So dumadami po yung mga connections in the brain, bumibilis yung connections in the brain, no? So we will see, if you look at this timeline, hindi nag-work yung pointer ko sa left. So if you look at this timeline, the first thing that will develop with our babies will be their sensory organs. So ano ba yung mga senses natin? Your eyesight, your hearing, yun po yung unang nagde-develop, no? And that's very important. So vision and hearing will develop first. So is a baby born with vision already? Nakakakita na po ba ang babies when they are born? Sino nagsasabi ng yes, nakakakita na sila? Sino nagsasabi hindi nakakakita babies? Actually, nakakakita na po ang mga babies. However, hindi pa malinaw yung eyesight nila. So, hindi pa ganun, parang blurred pa tayo sa kanila. But they can see already. Tapos ngayon, di ba, parang when you're breastfeeding, what do they say? Ano yung point of clearest vision for babies? Sinasabi nila mga 8 to 12 inches. So yung distance when you're breastfeeding your baby, clear na clear yung face ng mommies. Or that's the point of clearest vision, no? So that's also parang in terms of survival, makita nyo may role talaga yung creation ni God, no? So and then you will see, if you look at this illustration, language will develop after the first year of life. So, mga 1-year-old, makikita niyo yan. Kaya yung iba, parang tinatanong nila, what's a good gauge for intelligence? Kasi hindi ka naman magpapa-IQ test ng babies, di ba? Sinasabi nila, among all the domains of development, language is your best gauge for later intelligence. So, kung gusto natin maaga magsalita, yung mga anak natin, gusto natin mag-provide ng language-rich environment for them, no? And then, after this develops, at saka palang pumapasok yung higher cognitive function. So, what does this imply? There are some of us na very young, ano yung una natin tinuturo sa mga babies? Alphabet, numbers, colors, diba? These are pre-academic skills. And if you look at this diagram, it actually doesn't follow the sequence of development. So first and foremost pa din would be, if you look at this, sensory processes pa din yung first, okay? And then language, conversation. Gusto nyo makausap yung baby, kaya natin sila kinakantahan, sumasayaw tayo, hinihili natin sila when they are babies. And then later on, that actually establishes the foundation for later academic skills. No? Okay. Now, the brain capacity to rewire itself is called brain plasticity. And that is why the first 100 days is actually very important. Kasi po, ang brains ng baby parang clay. Diba? Sino sa inyo? Siyempre, alam natin lahat ang Play-Doh. Pag bagong bukas ang Play-Doh, malambot ba siya o matigas? Malambot, correct, di ba? So malambot siya, ganun po yung brains ng mga babies. They're very malleable. So ano ibig sabihin nito? Kaya natin i-reshape yan. And there are some babies, let's say, even those who are born with some defects in their brains, if we do therapy, if we do intervention, the other part of the brain subsumes the function that was lost. Ganun kaganda yung sa babies, no? But we need to take advantage of that very young age kasi this brain plasticity is affected by both positive and negative experiences. And as caregivers, it's our role to provide those positive experiences for our children. Ito po yung dinidescribe kanina ni Dr. Padolina, no? Na yes, we are born with our genes. Diba? Wala tayong magagawa. Namana po natin sa parents natin yung height natin, yung kung malakas tayong kumain, kung nasungit tayo ng konti. May factor po doon yung genetics. However, hindi po siya hopeless. Because the experiences that we get, at saka marami pong stimulus from our environment can actually change our genes or the expression of our genes. And this is the concept of epigenetics. So you will see that brain development is affected by experiences, so both good and bad experiences. And we actually see this as it's manifested as different behaviors. Okay, so yung brain natin, minsan, maraming processes in our brain, nakikita natin as behaviors of children. So minsan nakala natin, ay, behavior lang yan. Actually, may basis po yun sa mga processes na nangyayari sa brains nila. Now, toxic stress is something that we want to avoid for these very young kids because it damages the developing brain architecture, and this can lead to lifelong problems in learning, physical, and mental health. So we want to avoid this. However, there are different kinds of stress, no? So meron tayong positive stress, merong tolerable stress, at merong toxic stress. So when we talk about positive stress, ngayon, ano example nito? Immunization, di ba? Kailangan natin pabakunahan yung mga anak natin, di ba? So ano nagiging reaction nila? Takot sila, umiiyak, minsan nakikita na nalalamig yung kamay nila, pinapawisan, no? These are physiologic responses to that stressful situation. Even tayo, as adults, di ba? Siguro kanina wala akong kakilala, pagpasok ko dito, parang what am I to expect? If it's something unexpected, medyo kinakabahan din tayo. That's a bit stressful. But this is positive stress because it pushes us to be better. Di ba? Kailangan mo magpabakuna para hindi ka magkasakit. Or kailangan mo pumasok sa school. Siyempre, sa start, wala kang friends. But you have to do it because it's important for your future, for your education. No? So that's positive stress. Then we talk about tolerable stress. What's tolerable stress? It's serious temporary stress responses. But the key word here is that it is buffered by positive relationships. Yun yung role natin as caregivers. Yun yung role natin as parents. And you will see disasters will fall under this category. Or halimbawa, the Marawi incident, this actually falls under this category. So meron tayong magagawa about it. We can actually be positive influences to these children, to our children who encounter this kind of stress. And then last, ito yung gusto natin talaga ma-avoid. So it's prolonged activation of stress response systems. Yung mga stress hormones natin like cortisol, ang taas-taas niyan pag may toxic stress, no? And then, with toxic stress, there is absence of protective relationships. Okay? So an example nito, children who are born to disadvantaged, neglectful families. Example po yan. Or children who are abused. So hindi lang physical abuse, may verbal abuse, all sorts of abuse. Okay? That's toxic stress, and we want to avoid that. So how do we prevent the bad effects of toxic stress? No? we do it through positive and supportive relationships. So emotional well-being and emotional competence can provide strong foundation. So hindi po natin mahihiwalay ang emotional development from later cognitive development. All of the spheres of development are actually intertwined. Okay? And that is why we will go to our activities for the day. Okay? So you will see, because we want to nurture the gift of our future grades, we want to address their holistic development. And when we talk about holistic development, di lang po yan academics. Okay? So if you will look at what we have in store, we will give you activities that will address your physical development. So ito lang po yung parang baseline natin ngayon. Today, we are not parents. We will pretend not to be parents. Nilag na nga ako sa spotlight. Sinusundan niya ako. Bulag na po ako. Hindi. We will pretend not to be parents. Thank you. We will pretend to be 5-year-old kids. Okay? So, yun yung mindset natin sa pagpasok natin today. We are 5-year-old kids. So, try to remember 5 years old. Ano pa ginagawa ko nun? So, yun po yung babalikan natin. So, as 5-year-old kids, we want activities that will nurture your physical development, your mental development, and your social-emotional development. We want to give you actual activities that you can do for your kids. Okay? Kasi, di ba, minsan parang matanda na kasi tayo, minsan kalimutan na natin, paano ko nga ba ito ginawa nung bata ako? Diba? So, balikan po natin yun, nung time na 5 years old tayo. And all of this in the context of that loving relationship, yung environment na ginagalawan or ginagawa natin for our kids, and good nutrition. So, all of these would need to work hand in hand. Okay? So, today, we will have 3 learning zones. Okay? So, ready po ba ang get-up natin? Yeah, yes. Very good, yes. So our first zone will be advancing learning through yoga. Our second zone is advancing learning through art. And the third zone is advancing learning through play and movement. Okay? So we want to introduce this to you, but I will need to call on my colleagues to introduce the different workshops. No? So may I call on Dr. Padulina, and she will be joined by Teacher Mosh to explain our learning zone.
Thank you, Dr. Tipi. Okay, so ano ba yung nurturing the gift through physical activities? This is knowing your physical faculties, and later on you will do that. No, 5 years old, no? 5 years old kaya pa, pero medyo adult, medyo hirap na. But definitely when we say self-knowledge, it is really knowing what you could do best and knowing how to do it. Okay? And yoga is one way of enhancing our physical faculties, because definitely we will be able to connect the mind with the body. Ika nga the body is willing, or the mind is willing, the body will not yield. Okay? So this time as 5 years old, we will be able to explore what we will be able to do best. So Teacher Mosh will now explain how to do yoga as 5 years old, and also how to do prenatal yoga.
All right. Good morning, everyone. Okay. Morning. Has anyone ever done yoga here before? No one? Okay. Stop. Okay. All right. That's exciting. All right. So again, we're gonna be doing kids yoga, and we're gonna be injecting a few prenatal yoga postures for our expectant moms. So no need to be, frustrated. We're here to have fun. And, yoga is not about being able to reach your toes. That's the biggest misconception about yoga. It's about having to be flexible, but it's just the effect that you get out from it. It's really all about what you learn about yourself on your way there, what you can accomplish and what you can't accomplish, and learning to be comfortable with that. And so yoga is a beautiful tool to be able to nurture your strengths and being able to accept our limitations, even just for the day. All right? So one of the reasons why we're actually offering yoga to you guys is, as you can see on the board, yoga is not just a physical exercise. If you explore the deepest roots of the system of yoga, it's all about the the union of the mind, body, and spirit. So it's such an amazing tool that we can offer our children of the future. And I hope you guys are excited. We'll see you on the mat later. And I hope you get the first-hand experience and a deeper understanding as to why that is. All right? Okay, I'll see you guys on the mat later. Thank you.
So let's call on our next expert. So may I call on Dr. Letty Peñanaho?
Good morning, everybody. You are 5 years old now. Do you remember what you used to draw when you were 5? You didn't draw, Mommy? Who drew? What were you drawing? Houses, rainbows. Ooh, what else? Yes? Dolls, yes. And when you were drawing this, what did you feel? Happy. So today, as 4-year-old young people, we'll take a look at what art can I do, and with the guidance of our expert in art, we see how much you're capable of doing. Perhaps you've forgotten it. Perhaps before it was easy to let you draw, and as you grew older, you were so afraid they'd say, "Pamit," or they would say, "Yuck." And see, so you stopped probably. Now, what we'd like to do as we focus on going back up to 5 years old and doing art, we'd like to use art as a way by which you can enhance recognition and memory. How much do you remember of what you did when you were 5? That wasn't too long ago. You all look so young. If you remember, then we'll take a look at why do you remember, how do you remember, and how did you see yourselves when you were young, and how do you see yourself now that you are this age? Okay, so today, we want to show you exactly how does art feel when you get into it, when you produce a work which you like to look at or don't like to look at, and how would you feel? Now, particularly in how can art develop your memory? Do you think it does develop your memory? You're not sure. Probably yes, because when you have a work of art that's on the wall, then you always remember, what kind of drawing I had. But we will take a look at that, we'll zero in on that. So, developing memory, and this is what Cara, my partner here, will do with you as we go through the activity. So may I call on Cara to explain what she will do with us?
Hello everyone, how are you? Good, okay. So nervous about doing art. Haven't done art in a long time. I understand, don't worry. So you can call me Teacher Cara. I am a therapeutic art practitioner, so I work with adults who don't draw all the time. Okay, so don't worry, you're in good hands. But today we're going to be 5 years old. And to be 5 years old, the first thing we need to do is to let go of expectations. Okay, so as adults, we're always expecting it has to be pretty, it has to be perfect. Are you game to let go of any expectations? Yeah, we'll be in the moment. So when we're open, we are also going to be open to wonder. So I wonder what we're going to do today. I wonder what our project will be. Are we game to be open to wonder? Okay, so today we can't be too creative like 5-year-olds because Wyeth wanted to provide a very premium art experience for you. So we're not using 5-year-old paint, we're using adult permanent paint. So we have aprons for everyone, but please don't paint your friends because they won't appreciate it. Okay, so no becoming real 5-year-olds. Are we okay with that? Yeah. Alright, so I'm so excited to work with you. Today, I also have my assistant that I really want to introduce. This is Teacher Gia. She's a fantastic artist and yoga practitioner too. And she'll be working with all of us later. So see you later.
There. And then for our last workshop, this one. So nurturing the gift through play, I will be facilitating the workshop with Miss Dimples, no? So what will happen here? So we envision tomorrow's future with a lot of collaboration. Diba sa play, kailangan talaga nagko-collaborate. Kailangan may teamwork, diba? And it's important to see how we can develop that people sense. Okay, so that's very important. So, We will provide you with space for imagination and collaboration. And we will try to figure out how comfortable you are with complexity. Kasi it's not a perfect world, diba? So let's see. Surprise po, how we're going to do that later. We'll give you instructions later, no? So, but we will provide you with giant blocks and then you will be given tasks to do for this workshop. Okay, so let me turn you over to Ms. Dimple.
Thank you so much to our key opinion leaders and facilitators. Diba exciting? Kasi sarap maging 5-year-old. Parang kalimutan muna natin lahat ng mga problema natin today and we will wear the shoes of our children. Para naman mas lalo natin silang maiintindihan. And the good thing about that is that we will have guidance from our facilitators and from our doctors. Kaya magiging masaya po ang araw na ito. But before we head to our activities, let me just introduce to you our marshals. Sila po ay sina Ate Honey Grace, Ate Ella, and Ate Roxanne. Okay. Sila po ang ating magiging marshals today. They will be holding placard number 1, 2, and 3. At sila po ang mag-guide sa inyo mamaya sa inyong mga